All righty, guys. Talk about a rebound for the stock market, man. I love it. I'll take this all day, every day. The S&P went up over 0.8% as the Qs led the green up over 1.6%, and the Russell crushed it up 1.2, and the Dow didn't have the best day, but hey, still went up a 0.25% as the VIX went down, and both WTI and Brent crude oil, ended up going down as well. So guys, we have a lot to cover, from obviously the charts to what I'm doing, a couple stocks I'm watching here, and we have some news, excuse me, we have some news regarding Meta to break down. So let's dive into it. Hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, join my Patreon if you guys want to keep up with my actual portfolio updates, my trades, investments, and if you want to be a part of my private Discord, it's all linked down below, pinned in the comments, or go to stocksurfest.com/Patreon. And now, cheers. I'm drinking, I don't even know what this is, guys. My wife got me a prebiotic soda. I think it's a Poppy, right? Yeah, Poppy. So cheers, guys. Drinking the Poppy for today's video, and let's get into it. So we had, like I said, a green day across the board, and at this point in time, believe it or not, might not be hard to believe, SPY is starting to break out of this channel on the 4-hour time frame, and I'm noticing we're pushing over these moving averages and a cup and handle starting to form. Do you guys see the cup and handle on SPY? Maybe you'll see it, yeah, more on the 1-hour time frame. Look at this. This is about to play out, in my opinion, and we're testing it right now. The resistance, 750 to 752. If that breaks, guys, this cup and handle plays out, SPY is going to go. It's going to go to all-time highs, in my opinion, man. That's what we're setting up for right now, as all-time highs are only $9 away. We're right there. We're stone's throw away, and that's what we're setting up for right now. And we were trading in this downwards channel for what, a month and a half, right? Now we're finally starting to get out of it, and this is what a bull market looks like, right? We're not in a bear market. This is a bull market. Contrary to what the the perma bears say, that, oh, this is the start of the crash, this is the start of the depression, right? The market's dumping. No, it's not. This is just what happens in a bull market. Do you guys think stocks go up all the way up and away with no drawdowns, no sideways periods in a bull market? You're crazy. That's not how it works. This is exactly how a bull market works. We have a couple weeks or months, in this case 2 months of straight up green, and then guess what? We're going to have a little bit of time of sideways trading. We're selling off, in this case a little downtrending channel, nothing crazy, all while keeping a lot of the gains, all the gains pretty much, from the run up. And this is just us building a new foundation, a new base, a new support level, before we just absolutely rip for the next leg up. Because again, we're in a bull market. This is what a bull market looks like. You get big pops, then periods of consolidation, then you get more upside. That's how it works out. So that's what I think we're setting up for here. And I'm a firm believer that heading into the midterms, right, even if Trump loses, whether he wins or loses, whatever, right, he's going to do whatever he can to, keep oil prices down, gas prices down, the stock market up, the economy looking as good as ever. He's going to do whatever it takes, which is why I think we're going to get another deal, quote unquote, with Iran. Oil's going to continue to trickle down. And then after the midterms, hey, all what could break loose, it could go crazy again. Who knows, right? But, in my opinion, us now till the midterms, right? I think we're going to be okay, at least financially speaking here, stock market wise. I think we're going to be at all-time highs or close to it. And we already are, and I think we're going even higher now on SPY and on the Qs. If I pull that up here, this isn't breaking out of that downtrending channel like SPY is, but it's going to get there, in my opinion, right? We're heading in the right direction. My alert's at 733. We closed today at 723. We're right under the 180 SMA, right under this channel right now, and eventually, man, it's going to break, right? In my humble opinion. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I'm thinking right now. So with that being said, let's talk about some stocks. Let's start off here with Meta, as we got some big news, and this stock had an epic recovery. What a recovery today for Meta. This thing closed yesterday at over 604, and it went all the way down to about 577, so dropped about 4.5% today, this morning, and then we rallied all the way from 577, which again, we closed at 604 yesterday, 5% drop pretty much. We went from 577 all the way to 631. That was a 9% intraday move for Meta. Unfreaking believable. So personally, guys, I'm long Meta. You kind of know what I've been doing, or maybe you don't. I'll tell you right now. I'm long Meta, but I did sell some shares about a month ago. I think it was right here. I think it was early June. I sold some shares to go along Lam Research and Micron, and that ended up working out beautifully, right? So I did cut my position a little bit, but I'm still long, right? I still own a good amount of Meta here, and I think it's going to be a story that really develops in the back half of this decade, right? Well, I guess we kind of are in the back half now, but, more so 27, 8, 2029, I think Meta's going to do well. They're doing well now, but I think the stock price will do well later down the road. But for now, it's kind of in a consolidation period. So for me, guys, that's why I sold some shares, locked in a little tiny loss, and then I made a lot of money on Micron and Lam Research, which I'm out of those, by the way, for now, and potentially looking to re-enter. So the news we got today regarding Meta, let me pull this up right here. I'll show you guys. So they're jumping into AI coding, the coding market, AI coding market, in an effort to chase, oh, you guessed it, Anthropic and OpenAI. So let's come down here a little bit and see what their AI chief is saying, Alexander Wang. You can see right here, this is Alexander Wang. Shout out to my buddy here. Just kidding, I don't know the guy, but he's the chief AI officer of Meta. And during the Bloomberg Tech Conference, this picture is from that point, and he's going to be very competitive on pricing, is what we're hearing here. So let's talk about that quickly. 3 months after unveiling their first AI model under the leadership of Alexander Wang, Meta is rolling out a major update as it attempts to compete with OpenAI and Anthropic in critical areas of the market. So listen to this, guys. Muse Spark 1.1, which Meta introduced on Thursday, today, represents its strongest model for agentic and coding work yet. Wang said in an interview. He said it's only available to select partners who could access the technology via a private API preview. Meta is making the new model's API available through a developer portal as part of a public preview where users will be able to sign up and see instructions for integration. A Meta spokesperson said some early partners can already access the API, and new users will be able to add themselves to a waitlist and be added from there over time, right? And for now, Meta said it's limiting API access to its own properties rather than making it available on third-party platforms like the popular Open Router marketplace. And Wang said this is going to be served on top of the computer infrastructure that we've built at Meta, and it's Meta's second notable rollout for the Muse family this week. On Tuesday, they actually released Muse Image, originally codenamed Mango, a model for creating images as the company seeks to attract creators and advertisers to its offerings. So yeah. Again, guys, they're going after Anthropic and OpenAI. And look, this is a very competitive market at this point. All these different models. It's almost, the LLMs are almost like a commodity at this point. But there's no doubt that there is still obviously a lot of demand, and there's going to be a ton of demand moving forward here. And the race to which is going to be the best, whether it's from Google, OpenAI, Anthropic, is it going to be Meta, right? The race is going to be on, and it's going to be on for a long time, right? And Wang characterized pricing of the Muse Spark update as very aggressive and attractive compared with similar offerings from labs like Anthropic and OpenAI. He said every new API account will start with $20 in free credits, right? From there, the company will charge $1.25 per million tokens in input and $4.25 per million tokens of output, he said. So we're not going to dive too deep into all this stuff, guys, but that's another big piece of news for the AI story when it comes down to Meta, which admittedly they are a little behind when it comes to their model, but hey, better late than ever, as they say, guys. So the stock is very excited on this news, and, we'll see how it progresses and how it competes with other companies, again, like Google, obviously, Anthropic, OpenAI. It's going to be a very interesting race. Cheers to that, guys. Let me get a little of this poppy in my system. I appreciate you all for tuning in. We have a couple other stocks to cover, so don't click off yet. I know you might want to go watch something else, but give me another minute or two here, guys. Cheers. So, not just Meta today, every big tech stock did well, pretty much, right? And all these AI names as well, like Micron went up 4.5%, which, guys, it's not fully breaking out yet. We're still under the 180 moving average, the 50 moving average, but we are seeing a nice run today, not just in MU, but other stocks like SanDisk. If I pull up this, what's the ticker? SNDK. Forgot for a second there, guys. SanDisk had an almost 8% green day today, and there's a lot of hype, in my opinion, right now around memory. There has been. No kidding, right? But we have SK Hynix's NASDAQ IPO tomorrow, which there's so much demand for that. And I think this could actually trigger a run in the entire space, potentially, not guaranteed. But there's a lot of momentum potentially coming for SK Hynix. And at this point, there's so much demand for it. It goes to show, in my opinion, the memory trade, it's not done yet. It's not done yet, even though some people might think it's done. But we have that tomorrow, and I think on Monday it starts trading under SK. I forget the ticker now, but I made a short video on it. Go check it out. But either way, tomorrow, pay attention. On Monday, pay attention. Big things coming for SK Hynix. And we have an update on GLW, which is Corning. I started buying this stock a couple of days ago. I bought some more at 179. Today it ripped all the way to 204. I didn't take profits. I was considering it, but I'm holding on tight here, guys. I think we could be going well back over 200, so I'm going to hold on to Corning a little bit more here, guys. GLW, after we had a nice green day, I think we might be due for some more here. And the overall index, this semiconductor index, iShares, what's it called? SOX. This one up 3.5% today. Again, the entire sector did pretty well, but it's still battling a major resistance. You guys got to keep in mind this spot right here on the 4-hour time frame at about 590, 595, 585, that $10 window. Big resistance for SOX. If we're able to get out of there, which I think we will in due time, I think we're due for a big leg up. So I'm excited about all these stocks. I'm excited about SK Hynix. I might trade it, guys. I don't know if I'm going to buy and hold long term. I'm probably not going to do that. Full disclosure, personally, I'm not going to do that probably long-term buying, but I might consider trading it. I have a little love-hate relationship with ADRs. I got to be honest with you guys, which we're not going to get into in this video. But listen, will I trade it? Most likely. So we'll do an update when I see, when it's time to do an update, guys. So, with that being said, I appreciate you all for tuning in. Hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Do all that stuff, guys. Join the Patreon if you want to keep up with my portfolio updates, trades, investments. If you want to be a part of my private Discord, it's all linked down below, pinned in the comments, or go to StasserFest.com/Patreon. And with that being said, cheers. I'll see you guys in the Patreon or in the next video.